Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is another rant review type of day, and today we are reviewing a book that I'm currently reading, that I'm in the process of reading, and I have mixed feelings on it. So today we're going to be discussing Serpent and Dove, and if you guys haven't heard of Serpent and Dove, I don't know where you guys have been. This book is like the most talked about current fantasy book like of the year so far. It came out in September of 2019. It's now like the middle of April by the time I'm getting around to reading this book, and I have many mixed opinions on it so far. So we're going to discuss those mixed opinions today. First of all, I just want to let you guys know, I'm not done with this book yet. I'm currently, as I'm filming this, I'm on page like 169. So I'm kind of like in the middle of it. I'm very close to being done with it though. So, but I'm a good chunk into it, and I have issues. And we're going to discuss those issues today. So, if you guys don't know what Serpent and Dove is about, I would be kind of surprised. But if you guys don't know what it's about a girl who is a witch, and she lives in this world full of witches and witch hunters who are named chasseurs. And basically she is a witch, like I just said, she is a witch, and she has to get married to one of the chasseurs, which is the witch hunters of this world. And the world is kind of a fantastical version of Paris, which I found very interesting, which I'm finding very interesting so far. And basically it's just their trials and tribulations of getting married and being husband and wife, and an enemies to lovers romance that could be done better, but I'm not hating it. So that's basically it. So it's basically about them being husband and wife, them getting married, them getting through their issues with each other because they're from different opposing sides of society. One's a witch hunter who is at the top of his game. The other is a witch who is just there. She's a woman, as they say in this book. Women can't do anything, while men are superior to women. Back in this time, men were superior to women because they were strong, and women, they were just there to be, you know, like their like possession, like men's possession basically. They say that a lot in this book, like how women are men's possessions, and how women can't be their own independent selves, which is, you know, so that's so great for a man to say about a woman. Even back in this time, it's great. But that's basically it. If you don't want to be spoiled for the first section of this book, because today I'm just going to be talking about the first like little section of it. So I'm going to be talking about the first 100 pages, which go by super quick. You can read like the first section of this book in like an hour or two. It goes by super fast. I read the first section of this book in like 2-3 days, but that's because I just wanted to sprinkle it throughout, because I didn't want to read it all in one go. But I read the first section in like 2 or 3 days, and I was really into it. But yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the first section of it today. So this is going to be the end of like the non-spoiler section. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled for what happens in the first section of Serpent and Dove, leave the video right now, come back, and we'll discuss the first section once you've read the first section. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, leave right now. Spoilers are coming in 3, 2, 1. Bye. So anyway, so the first section of this book is the first 108 pages. Exactly, right? 108 pages? Let's be sure. 108 pages. So we're going to be talking about this chunk today. It's not even a chunk. It's like a little tiny bit of the book, because the book's like 500 pages. I don't know why it's so long, but I'm flying through it, so it doesn't really matter. But the first section of this book is very is not hard to explain, but it's just better going into it. Like first, like you read the synopsis and it's like, oh, it's a witch and a witch hunter. They get married. Why the hell do they have to get married? Is it for like some political alliance? No, it's not for a political alliance or any political reason. It's basically because the man, the chasseur, and the woman, the witch, who is named Lou. The chasseur, who's the witch hunter, his name's Reed. So Lou and Reed. Lou's our main female character, Reed's our main male character. So basically, the book starts off. Lou is with her friend named Coco, and they are they're at like this bar called the Belrose, which is like where the witches go to meet with other witches to gamble and everything, and they're trying to get this ring. Now, it's not really explained within the first chapter what the ring could do. It basically just says, oh my god, we need the ring, oh my god, we need the ring, for reasons that you'll probably come to find out like as you continue reading the book, because they do explain it in here. They do explain it within like the next few chapters, because it's told from two points of view, Lou and Reed's point of view, so you're switching back and forth between those two point of views. But in the book, they don't really explain what the ring's for, like within the first chapter, so that was very annoying. It was a real struggle for me to get through that first chapter, because I was like, wait, what the hell can this ring do? It doesn't really explain it, and the first chapter is like 20 pages. So, and then in the first chapter, it introduces all these random ass characters that aren't even like relevant for like the rest of the story. Like I'm currently reading it now. I'm in the middle of the second section, and those characters that we met within the first chapter, they're not even like that relevant. Like the people who are the most relevant from the first chapter onward are like maybe two main characters. That's Lou and Coco, because they're like the most like relevant of the main characters that we've met in the first section of the book so far. But they're trying to get this ring. It's called Angelica's ring. It's basically like Lou's ancestors' ring that has like these magical abilities. It can make you like turn First of all, the ring can like be invisible. It's not like it can be like a visible ring, but it can also be like an invisible ring. It could be either visible or invisible. It doesn't really matter. But in the book, it can turn invisible, and when you wear it, you become invisible yourself. Which is kind of weird, but I guess we need like some sort of magic in this book. But that's not like but that's not the only magic you get. You have like a lot of different witches in here. So far, Lou is a Dame Blanc, which is, I don't know what, because they don't really explain it in here, but she's a Dame Blanc. Coco, her friend, is like Dame, I don't even know, because they don't even explain it in here. They don't even explain it in here, really. But like I've said, there are many different covens, and Lou's just trying to get this ring. She eventually gets it from this heist that they pull off, her, Coco, and her friend Bass, or Bash, whatever you want to call it. And they have like a past romantic relationship, and you know, there are still, feelings there, but they're not going to admit to it, because there's another guy in this book who has to marry her, named Reed. But basically, she's a witch. She kind of does this. She really despises her mother in this book for some reason. I haven't really discovered it yet, but hopefully I'll discover it soon. And yeah, that's basically Lou's storyline in the first few chapters. Reed's storyline, because we switch back and forth between their point of views, he's a chasseur who is one of the most regarded witch hunters in the land, and basically he encounters Lou at this bakery one day, and whenever Lou is like in disguise to pull out these gambles and these heists and everything, whenever she goes to like do some sort of heist plot, even though she's a witch, she's not a thief, but she claims that she's both, she wears a mustache to make her seem like a man, because men were strong back then, and women were not superior to men basically in this time period. And Lou bumps into Reed one day, and the mustache flies off of her face. He finds out that she's a girl, and then there's like an attack on the city with, supposedly, it like hints to it being Lou's mom, but they never explain it. But there's like a big attack. He goes back to the church because in this world, a chasseur is like a member of like the cathedral church, basically. It's like it's like a war between witchcraft and the church, which I actually find very interesting. I find that very interesting, to have it be focused on witchcraft but also be focused on the church, because that's kind of like relevant actually to today, because churches, they don't fear witchcraft. It's just like it could be like evil and all that. So I found that very interesting, how they felt kind of like a relevant topic to today, like in like a fantasy book from its past time, because it's kind of still relevant today about witchcraft and the church and everything. But within the church lies the archbishop. The archbishop is basically this all-consuming, powerful guy. He's like the head of the church, basically. He's basically like a father figure toward Reed, because he was an orphan at like 3 years old. So the archbishop took him in. Reed respects the archbishop with every fiber in his being. He respects that archbishop like nothing else. He's like, you don't tell the archbishop off. You don't do this to the archbishop. The archbishop is amazing. He's killed thousands of witches. He could kill you too. He basically says that to Lou, which, you know, is great. It's so great. And then, so yeah, I talked about the archbishop. The archbishop, he's like basically God to Reed. He's basically God to Reed. Reed doesn't curse because he is a holy man. He has been raised in the church his entire life, so he has been told to kill witches and to not basically give a care if he kills witches. They just need to be killed and slaughtered. That's it. Job's done. So the night that Lou, Coco, and Bass go to get Angelica's ring from this guy that wronged them, Reed is called to basically catch Lou, but he ends up catching Coco instead. Well, no. They don't catch really anyone, but everyone does escape. After everyone escapes, Lou and Coco, they decide to go to Coco's aunt's island, which has another witch coven, because Coco, she endorses in blood magic, basically. But Coco says that Lou should stay here, so Lou agrees. Lou stays in their kingdom of Belterra, it's called. I don't know if I mentioned that. I probably didn't, but now I did. So we'll continue on. So in Belterra, that's where Lou is residing. Coco supposedly, this comes into the second section. She supposedly goes to her aunt's island, but she doesn't. But that'll come up later in the second half of this review, which I'm going to be filming separately. So yeah, it'll come in the next video that I film about part 2, because we're just talking about part 1 today. And then the next night after Coco supposedly leaves, Lou gets attacked by these 2 guys who knew her from a while back, named Andre and Gru. They break her nose and everything. It's really brutal. She gets bruises all over her face, and that's basically it. And she still has the ring, basically, because they wanted Angelica's ring. But Lou still has the ring, and with this ring comes trouble. I don't know what kind of trouble, but it comes to bite her back in the ass, I'll basically say that. When she wakes up the next morning, she lives in a theater, basically. Like a theater that's still working. And they're putting on a performance that day. Basically, Reed and the Archbishop, they go to the theater to watch a show. And then all of a sudden, Lou comes down from going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, when she comes out of the bathroom, Reed sees her and he goes, "You." And then she's like, "Wait, what?" and then they get into like this little fight. This fight escalates to them fighting from the backstage to them ripping the curtain off of the front stage, and then them continuing to fight like on stage, and the audience can see them, and then Reed's like on top of Lou basically, and Lou, she already has like bruises all over her face, so everyone's like, oh my god, a man beat up a woman? Oh my god, that's not right. Oh my god, a man can't beat up a woman. Why did he beat up a woman? She has bruises all over her face. And basically the Archbishop's there. He has everyone leave the room because he doesn't want anyone there. Lou tries to escape, but Reed caught her by the arm before she could escape. And he goes, you know what, man? You know what? I'm gonna let you live. We should burn you at the stake, because actually they don't find out that she's a witch. They think that she's a thief, and when witches use magic, basically when the witches use magic, they emanate a smell of like sweetness, of like cinnamon and sugar and everything. Like, they emanate a sweet smell from using magic. But this totally goes past everyone's head. They go, huh, what's that smell? It's very subtle, but it's kind of sweet. And in Reed's point of view, he says like within his next point of view after the confrontation with the Archbishop, in the next chapter from Reed's perspective, he says, oh my god, what's that smell? Because Lou uses magic on the Archbishop for personal reasons, and Reed goes, oh, what's that smell? It smells like cinnamon, but he goes, it's not magic, so whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I just want to say that the witches basically use magic, and whenever they use magic, there emanates a smell from like their magic that they use, like whatever kind of magic that they use, a smell emanates from their magic. So yeah, but basically back to Reed, Lou, and the Archbishop having a conversation. The Archbishop says to Lou, you caused many problems for us, girl, so we gotta do one of two things. We gotta put you in prison, or you can marry the Chasseur. And Lou's like, I'm not marrying anyone. Reed, he doesn't even say anything. The Archbishop basically says, you caused a lot of trouble for us, Lou, and we can't allow that. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna marry the Chasseur so that his reputation isn't ruined, because as usual, all of a sudden, when a man beats up a woman back in these time periods, if he's like a high-ranking soldier or a Chasseur or whatever, his reputation can be ruined because he beat up a woman. But basically, they go, you know what, we're gonna marry the supposed thief who's actually a witch, but they don't know that she's a witch, and they're gonna marry the Chasseur. So Lou and Reed agree to being married, and the Archbishop says, alright, we're gonna make you guys get married so that Reed's reputation isn't ruined, and Lou basically has to marry him for reasons, because she thinks that if she marries Reed, she'll be protected by the church. But the church literally wants to kill witches, but they don't know that she's a witch, so she assumes that they'll protect her, and that's what they basically say in here, like, sire to a wife or a husband, basically, your spouse will protect you, basically. Like back in this time period and in this world, your spouse will protect you, supposedly. But yeah, they decide to get married, they agree to this, and basically the marriage ends up going through. They get married, but to make the marriage official, they have to consummate their marriage. They have to have sex to make the marriage official, and that's basically how the first part ends. It basically ends with the Archbishop saying, you gotta consummate the marriage to make it official. So if the marriage isn't consummated, then the marriage isn't real, it's not legit, it's not official. So basically Lou and Reed, they're being forced to have sex with each other to make this marriage like basically official. And that's basically how part 1 ends. And yeah, that's basically how the first part ends. And the Archbishop says that he'll have someone come in and check on them to make sure that the deed has been completed. So, yeah, so basically, Lou and Reed, they're forced to have sex by the Archbishop because it's not going to be official if they don't have sex, so they have to have sex. And to make them prove that they had actually, like, done it, the Archbishop's going to send someone into the room that they're going to be like supposedly doing it in. The Archbishop is gonna send someone in to confirm that they had sex. And that's basically how the first part of this book ends. It ends in a very interesting way, like, oh my god, are they actually gonna have sex or not? But we'll talk about that later in part 2. So that was part 1 of Serpent and Dove. That was my review of part 1 of Serpent and Dove. Sorry it was so like scattered brained, but it was the first 100 pages and it goes by super quickly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the first half of this review. I will be back with part 2 hopefully soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye guys.